Hello everyone, welcome back to Droid Game Fan. This is part 11 of my walkthrough of Detective Grimoire.
Hey,
This is the final part, so I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so now I can ask Sally her challenge question.
The black leggings you found in your bag this morning. They're covered in the same slime that was on the murder weapon.
everything in this swamp is covered in slime. What's your angle, Grimoire?
I have proof you were wearing them during the murder. Your black leggings were part of the murder's costume. Yep, it's the middle
Your
one.
black leggings were part of the murderer's costume.
Costume? Is that why someone took them out of my bag last night?
Well, I don't have proof someone else took them.
If I had been wearing them when I committed a crime, do you think I would hand them over to a detective the second he shows up? Besides,
Well, you didn't
look
hand
at
them over, I
What do
found
you
them.
notice?
You're too fat to wear these. They're loose and stretched. They're far too long for you to wear.
They're far too long for you to wear. Let's think about this one again.
Oh boy, I gotta do all this again.
The black leggings are covered in...
Everything. What's your angle?
Your black leg...
Costume? Is that why?
Well, don't have...
If I had been... Do you think? Besides, what do you notice?
Okay, so they're too loose and stretched. It'd be funny if I say she's too fat.
That's right, someone else. Someone larger than me has worn these. They're stretched out, especially at the waist. It's pretty obvious.
So, let's see. Somebody stole them to use in their boggy costume, and then put them back in your bag when they were done?
If you say so. It's not my job to know all the details. It's my job to sell souvenirs. Do you want a souvenir?
Oh, yes, but only if you choose one for me.
You
She
look
gotta
like
choose
you
the
could
most
use something
expensive
delightful.
one now.
You can take this one.
What is that? A wind-up toy? Wow, thanks. Yes, he's speechless. Yeah, she knows what she's doing. A small plastic toy found at the gift shop has a cartoon appearance of Boggy.
I
Wind-up
always thought it was
toy.
weird that his feet are in that little bucket all the time.
It's just part of the character, I guess. I'm surprised they don't sell some sort of boggy foot soaker.
And that would be the one product I'd consider buying.
Okay, so someone that was fat was wearing her leggings, so who's fat? %95%, so I'm almost finished. Okay, gift shop. Okay, someone larger than Sally stole them and stretched them out. Okay, so I have all the clues. And the game crashes yet again. Okay, so okay, ask him his challenge question.
I'm afraid I have no idea.
It's a Boggy toy. You love Boggy.
I heard you've been spending less time protesting recently and more time, in your tent. Normally I wouldn't
Doing
pry, but it's
stuff.
my job to ask.
Untouched people have even noticed something like that. I usually get the impression everyone else is doing their best to ignore me.
So, you admit it's true?
You can put your notebook away. There isn't really any reason for it. Nothing worth writing down, at least.
Well, if it's not worth writing down, maybe it's worth hearing.
In that case, you'd forget it.
How do you know? Maybe it would echo in my mind.
Bum bum.
If you take a guess and get it right, I promise not to deny it.
Let's work out why Echo was hidden away in his tent.
Okay.
Notebook time.
Okay, so he's in his tent because it was raining. No, that's not it. I have a silly nickname. He's afraid of ghosts. The tax man is after him. He forgot to file. Or he's afraid of Boggy. Okay, maybe he's afraid of Boggy.
You've been in your tent, hiding from Boggy.
Why not?
So was that the right one?
I heard you've been spending less time protesting recently and more time, in your tent. Normally I wouldn't pry, but it's my
Okay,
job to
so it's
ask.
repeating,
Have you
so
noticed something like that? I usually get the impression
was that the right answer? What happened?
you can... Nothing.
Well, if...
In that case,
How do you know?
look, if you...
Let's work out why Echo was hidden. Notebook time.
Maybe it was raining the night he was in his tent.
You've been in your tent because it's been raining.
Why not?
Okay, so I'm starting
heard
to think that he's just gonna say the same
I u-
So,
thing over and over again, but
well,
let's make sure.
how do you...
Look,
Let's work out why Echo... Notebook time.
Okay, he's afraid of ghosts.
You've been hiding in your tent because the swamp is haunted.
why not?
Okay, so we just gonna say the same thing. Okay, only got one more, so what the heck?
You can...
Let's see if the tax man is after him.
How do you...
Look, if
Let's work out why Echo was... Notebook time. You've been hiding in your tent from the tax man.
why not?
That's a dedicated tax man. Chase him all over into the swamp. But hey, you don't mess with Uncle Sam. Whoa, what happened?
I think it's time I went to talk to Officer James.
The beginning of the end.
I'm impressed
Still
someone
haven't
actually
gotten to
paid
this
attention,
tent yet.
It's a colorful, boggy-themed padlock. He's staring into my soul.
You have a
it should
lockpick.
open
You
if
can
I
just
set the
jimmy
right
it open.
It's Echo's tent. I think he's been here for a while.
I don't know the password.
It's a colorful piece.
Okay, I don't know the code, so I guess I go to Officer James.
You finally returned. Well, did you find the swamp creature? Where is he?
I didn't find him. I forgot all about him. What swamp creature?
I didn't find him.
What? You're not getting paid to wander about aimlessly, Grimoire. Get back out there.
This case can't be solved. I don't need to. I'll keep looking for him. I don't need to.
I don't need to.
Boggy's criminal record.
Why not? I thought he was our prime suspect.
Not anymore.
Didn't you find photographic evidence of Boggy from last night? Let me see that photo.
Okay, so I guess I'll show him the black and white photo.
If that's not Boggy, what is it?
Someone in a costume. I guess I'll show him the costume design.
I found designs for the costume in a trash can. Not only that, I collected all the pieces of the costume myself. Well, nearly all of them. There's still the one that...
But the footprints at the scene of the crime! How can you prove these don't belong to a real creature?
Okay, so the picture of Weybridge has the footprints in the back.
What's this? I thought there were no records of a footprint anywhere.
No public records. The footprints at the crime scene don't match the ones on this page. They were just a product of these slippers. A part of the costume.
But Grimoire, this costume, it doesn't have claws of any kind. How do you explain the 3 wounds on the victim's chest?
Okay, the fire poker.
The prongs match up with the wounds perfectly. The handle's even covered in slime, see?
Ah, but this swamp slime was one of the reasons Boggy became a suspect in the first place. Surely this only incriminates the creature further.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But that slime, it's not exactly what you think.
The soda.
This stuff is an uncanny resemblance to the so-called swamp slime. A bunch of it was stolen from the storeroom of the cafe, which reminds me.
What is that exactly?
A poisoned hot dog. It's the second reason that the murderer broke into the storeroom. He put this green powder on the entire supply, just to make sure.
To make sure of what?
To make sure Remington got ill and had to return to his office, to make sure everyone in the swamp would be poisoned, to make sure no one would eat.
To make sure Remington got ill and had to return to his office.
Remington went back to his office? Alone?
Yes. The murderer.
I've been looking through your evidence, Grimoire. One piece in particular seems critical to me. I think we need to work
The
out.
video footage? Vincent Vanderpeer filmed it last night, at the exact moment of the murder, I believe.
Well, exactly. I think we can both agree these sounds in the background. They're essential in our mystery. Could you talk me through them? Just rearrange the descriptions on the left to match the sounds on the right.
Okay.
Drag them around and keep swapping until you're happy with the order. And if you want to hear the sounds again, you can tap on them.
No problem. I can always check my case file if I want to go over my notes.
Okay, so I gotta match it with the sounds. Remington ripped off some of the curtain fabric as he falls. Remington cries out in shock and falls backwards. Okay, creaking. That's the door opening. Ripping. So ripping, that's him ripping off the curtain fabric as he falls. Okay, outcry. Outcry. Remington cries out in shock as Boggy appears. Creaking. The culprit opens Remington's office door. Okay, so creaking opens Remington's office door. Remington cries out in shock as Boggy appears. Blast. Blast is Remington fires his hunting rifle at the culprit. So that's blast. Clang. What's the clang? Clang. Culprit drops the metal poker in the office. Could that be the Clang? Oh no, the culprit grabs the metal poker and stabs Remington. So that's the Clang. Outcry. Remington cries out in shock and falls backwards. Okay, so suspect opens the door. Remington cries out in shock. Remington fires his rifle. The culprit grabs a metal poker, stabs Remington. Remington cries out in shock, falls backwards. Remington rips some curtains, fabric off as he falls. The culprit drops a metal poker in office. Remington lands on the planks outside of his office. No. So this should be...
I think that's it.
Okay.
Ah, excellent. There's just two small details bothering me. First of all, if Remington ripped off a piece of his curtains, why wasn't it found at the crime scene? What happened to it?
Then the Stoom head.
Turns out the murderer took that piece of fabric and concealed it inside the head of the costume. Then he fled the crime scene to hide all the parts in different areas of the swamp.
Ah, well, that's my problem. If Remington fired his rifle, how did the assailant survive and manage to escape? Did Remington miss his target?
At point blank? A man of his experience? I don't think so. In fact, the answer to that question is the very last link in our chain. The one thing that has eluded me so far. I'll drag the clue items from the left onto my drawing here, and we'll see what happens when we compare the pieces I collected with the original design I found.
Okay, so the body part is missing. But yeah, why wasn't the suspect killed? Unless he's the suspect still wounded.
Wait, you never found the body piece, the torso.
You're right, and I never would have found it. Not lying around. Not like the others.
Okay, so it's still hidden in a certain tent.
But what does this have to do with the murderer surviving the rifle shot?
This torso is probably made out of some thick material. Something covering the culprit's entire upper body. I believe it may have even been enough to
What's
soften
it made out
the
of?
impact from a
Teflon?
bullet. Aha!
Exactly.
Well, let's put your theory to the test.
It's in the tent.
Where is that last
So it
piece
is
of the
Echo.
costume?
Not in the tent.
But how? We looked everywhere. Not a
Oh
single
yes, on that poncho.
He's still wearing it.
I don't know what you want with me. Sounds like you two were smart enough to uncover the real criminal in this swamp, and lucky enough to have somebody else deal with him for you. You worked it out. He had his rifle on him. He got half a glance at me and pulled the trigger without hesitation.
But why would he do that? You were dressed as Buggy. He shouldn't be pointing his gun at a unique scientific specimen, not to mention his main attraction.
He was hunting.
You're right. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, does it? Not unless you're in on the secret.
Okay. We're here to hunt Boggy. Was Boggy in disguise? Echo was Boggy in disguise. Leads me to believe. Forgot famed because. Okay, that's
Richard
not right.
Wright was framed because Echo
Leads
was
me to
Boggy in
believe,
disguise. What is that supposed to mean?
Forgot to tell me that. Let's see.
Richard Remington was framed because Echo was here to hunt Boggy. What is that
Okay, I'm doing this all
supposed
wrong. Okay, that's it. The hunter and the hunted.
The hunting photo leads me to believe Richard Remington was here to hunt Boggy. A secret society, an order of hunters, seeking out mysterious and elusive creatures.
The Order goes further than this one man, and much further than this one swamp.
The whole thing is kind of distressing. I knew something was wrong as soon as I stepped into that office.
I'm glad you've finally come around. It's not just
But what about Remington? He was a member of this order?
He made Boggy his own personal project, his own obsession. For years he hunted the creature, the potential perfect addition to his collection.
But he owned the tourist attraction. He set it up himself, didn't he?
He did. It was just his way of forming a legal loophole. Since the area became protected, he and his friends were unable to come here for hunting anymore. Boggy's Bog was just a front for his own little game. A man pursuing a creature.
A creature that might not even exist.
And that's why Remington kept a rifle nearby at all times?
Well, exactly. He didn't want to take any chances.
Now, don't you see? I did this place a service. Did Boggy a service. That creature, he can live in peace again.
Can he? You tried to frame him for murder. You wanted everyone to think he was some kind of ruthless predator?
Well, think about it. Once he became suspected of murder, they'd have no choice but to shut this whole place down. Everyone would finally realize they had no business here.
But he's not a killer. You don't have the right. How can you know what Boggy
How can
wanted?
you know what Boggy wanted? He might not be what you're...
Detective,
You. It's
finished. Don't be angry. You should be glad. It's finally time to leave the swamp. You have another job to do.
I don't know.
Who
Not
is
that it
this
makes any
girl?
difference to somebody like you, but I never intended to kill him. Just to scare him. Convince him Boggy wasn't going to let him live here in peace any longer. But, true to form, he had his rifle on him. You worked out the rest yourself.
You're right. It doesn't make any difference. It makes a difference. Blank.
It makes a difference.
Well, Mr. Everstone, I'm afraid you'll still have to come with us. Fortunately, there's a police station just a few miles down the...
Oh, what happened?
Hey, wait!
Whoa, is that the real creature? Oh. Oh, okay, he didn't kill him. Hi there. So, okay, so the creature is real. So the creature was hiding in that tree the whole time. That's why no one ever found him.
Looks like you
There's
solved
his
more
hat.
than one mystery tonight.
No, I didn't. Who is the red-headed girl? Okay, so that was the end of Detective Grimoire. So yes, I knew that guy was the suspect.
Grimoire.
Oh, still more.
What did they decide to do?
We had Mr. Everstone questioned. He was happy to tell us everything he knew. A number of rumors going around the department have been confirmed.
And Remington's office?
Searched down to the last detail. And well, we agree with you. But I know what you're thinking. I'd love to put an end to it, just the same as you. But there's always...
Are we going after them?
We better be.
What, Detective Grimoire versus the Hunting Society? That's gonna be the sequel? Okay, so I hope you enjoyed my walkthrough of Detective Grimoire. There's other walkthroughs on this channel, so check them out. I'll see you guys in the next video.